Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to start with blood circulatory system. So the blood circulatory system consists of heart, blood and blood vessels. So circulatory system consists of heart, blood and blood vessels. So in this blood vessels what we can see: arteries, veins and capillaries. Now next we will see the location of the heart. This heart is located right in the center between the two lungs and above the diaphragm. So where it will be right in the center between the two lungs and above the diaphragm, but little tilted towards the left side. In the center between the two lungs and above the diaphragm. So the size of the heart will be about 12 centimeter. It is about a fist. It is about the size of our fist. हमारे मुट्ठी के बराबर होता है हार्ट का साइज. इसके ये लगभग 12 सेंटीमीटर होगा लेंथ में. इट विल बी साइज ऑफ आवर क्लोज्ड फीस्ट. मुट्ठी के बराबर होगा. इसकी जो लेंथ है वो होगी 12 सेंटीमीटर. लेंथ 12 centimeter and width will be 9 centimeter. And this heart, see, this heart is protected by a double walled membranous covering called the pericardium. See, this outer this heart is covered double layer. ये double layers होते हैं membranous covering with the pericardium. ये protective layer को बोलते हैं pericardium. You can see this is pericardium. ये कैसा होता है? double membranous होता है. What does it do? It protects heart. हार्ट की प्रोटेक्शन करता है. And it contains lubricating pericardial fluid which reduces friction in between two membrane. There will be a fluid present. This fluid is pericardial fluid. It helps in the reduction of friction during the heartbeat and protect it from mechanical injury. This pericardium will protect from mechanical injury. Now we will see the chambers of the heart. Chambers of the heart. Okay, before that we'll see this heart. Human heart is 4 chambered. Human heart is 4 chambered. ह्यूमन हार्ट कितने चैम्बर का होता है? 4 चैम्बर्ड. अगर हम ऐसे समझें लाइक like this. It has 4 chambers. Heart कितने चैम्बर के होते हैं? 4 चैम्बर हार्ट होते हैं. It means two auricles and 2 ventricles. So the upper part will be auricles and the lower part will be ventricles. ये दोनों पार्ट क्या होंगे? ventricles होंगे. and upper part will be auricles. and this side will be right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle and ventricle. See in this diagram, this heart, we have divided this heart into 4 chambers, and this is right atrium and this is left atrium. This is right ventricle and this is left ventricle. The upper 2 chambers is called the atria or atrium, and the 2 lower is called ventricles. And this atrium will have thin wall. इनकी जो वॉल है वो थिन होती है. किसकी? एट्रियम की वॉल will be thin. Atria have thinner walls. Because क्यों इसकी वॉल थिन होती है? Because this right atrium or the left atrium, the function of the atrium is to receive blood. इनका काम क्या होता है? ब्लड को रिसीव करना. The right atrium and the left atrium will have to receive blood. That's why it doesn't have to pump into the blood. It doesn't have to pump the blood. It has to receive the blood from the body. This is the function of the atrium. Now we will see the ventricles. The ventricles have thick muscular. Ventricles का क्या होगा? This ventricles will have, you can see this is the wall of the heart. आपने देखा एट्रियम का वॉल क्या है? थिन है. And you can see the wall of the ventricle is thick. It is thick. इसकी वॉल कैसी है? thick है. Because they have to pump blood to long distance. इसकी वॉल क्यों थिक है? क्योंकि इसका जो it has to pump the blood to all parts of the body. This is right ventricle and this is left ventricle. Right ventricle will have to pump the blood till the lungs only, but this left ventricle have to pump the blood to all parts of the body, like from the up to the toe in the feet or up to the brain against the gravity. So the wall are thicker. इसकी जो wall है वो thick होगी left ventricles की. Ventricles have thick muscular walls. क्यों होगी? Because they have to pump blood to long distances. Now next we will see blood vessels entering and leaving the heart. Now we will understand the function of how the blood will enter into the heart. We have seen the heart is having 4 chambers. Heart में कितने chambers present होते हैं? 4 chambers होते हैं. This is the right atrium and the left atrium. The upper part is atrium and the lower part is ventricles. So this is right atrium. This is right atrium, left atrium, right auricle ventricles, left ventricles. So the right or atrium receives 2 large vessels, that is anterior vena cava and posterior vena cava. These two we can see, this is a vena cava, so we can say this also superior vena cava and this is inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava, this is superior vena cava and this is inferior vena cava. This is also called precaval. And what does it do? This vena cava, this both vena cava will bring deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood. What is deoxygenated blood? Means which carries carbon dioxide. It brings blood from the anterior or upper region of the body. Like this, superior vena cava क्या करेगा? Upper portion जो है body का, like head, chest and arms, like head, chest and arms, ये deoxygenated blood को superior vena cava से लेकर आएगा, where it will bring to the right atrium. And this inferior vena cava, it will bring blood from the lower parts of the body. This inferior vena cava is also called postcaval. This inferior vena cava is also called postcaval, and this brings blood from the posterior or lower region of the body, like abdomen and legs. So the function of vena cava is to bring deoxygenated blood to the right atrium. किससे लेकर आएगा? सुपीरियर वेना कावा से एंड इन्फीरियर, सुपीरियर वेना कावा से और इन्फीरियर वेना कावा से ब्लड, डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड को किधर लेकर जाएगा? राइट एट्रियम में. दिस इज राइट एट्रियम. नाउ नेक्स्ट, blood vessels leaving the heart. अब heart will function. First of all, this is right auricle, left auricle, and this is left ventricle, right ventricle, and this is left ventricle. What will happen? The blood will come first. The blood will come from superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. The blood will enter into the right auricle. Now from the right auricle, the blood will move to the right ventricle. From here, the blood will flow to the lungs. Lungs में जाएगा, and this is deoxygenated blood. I will explain with the diagram also, but before that I will explain how the blood will flow. So from here, right ventricle, the blood will go to the lungs, and this will be deoxygenated blood, and from the lungs the blood will purify, it will get oxygen, and it will go to the left auricle. The pure oxygenated blood will enter to the left auricle, and from this left auricle the blood will enter into the left ventricle, and from this left ventricle the blood will pumped to all parts of the body. So this is how the blood will circulate. Blood vessels leaving the heart. So we have seen the किससे blood आया? Superior vena cava से आया and inferior vena cava. Blood vessels leaving the heart means what? These vessels, which vessels leaves the heart? कौन सा जो वेसल्स हैं वो ब्लड को हार्ट से लेकर जाते हैं? The first it will take lungs, it will go to the lungs. Arising from the ventricles are two large blood vessels. First of all, I'll explain these auricles are always called the receiving chambers. Auricles are receiving chambers and these ventricles are called distributing chambers. So the pulmonary artery here the blood came from the inferior vena cava and the superior vena cava, and blood will enter to the right ventricle. So right ventricle here from this is pulmonary artery. This is pulmonary artery. So this deoxygenated blood will move to pulmonary artery here. It will go to the lungs. So pulmonary artery क्या होगा? ये कैरी करेगा. We have studied that all arteries carries oxygenated blood. The arteries will carry oxygenated blood and veins will carry deoxygenated blood. But in the heart, this pulmonary artery will carry the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricles to the lungs. And first one is pulmonary, arises from the right ventricle and carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs for oxygenation. सो पहला तो ब्लड जो वेसल्स हैं लिविंग द हार्ट, जो हार्ट से बाहर की ओर जा रहे हैं. सो सी दिस फ्रॉम द वेंट्रिकल्स ओनली द ब्लड विल बी लीविंग फ्रॉम pulmonary arteries, and the second one from the left ventricle the blood will be leaving from aorta to all parts of the body. ये दो हो गया, aorta हो गया and the pulmonary artery. Second one is aorta, arises from left ventricle and carries oxygenated blood to supply it to all parts of the body. So we will see the third one is coronary artery. What is coronary arteries? These coronary arteries will be arising from the left and right base of the aorta. They supply blood to the heart. ये coronary artery क्या करेगा? Supply blood to the heart. See, all the parts of the body needs blood, so heart also needs blood. So the supply of blood will takes place from the coronary arteries. So जब हार्ट में ब्लॉकेज होती है कोरोनरी आर्टरीज में, so what it will do, there is a deadening of corresponding area and hence the muscle leading to myocardial infarction, or you can say heart attack will takes place. This coronary veins collect the blood from heart walls and pour it into the right auricle. ये coronary artery क्या करेगा, इसकी जो veins है, coronary veins जो हैं, coronary veins will collect the blood from heart wall and pour it into the right auricle. See, with the help of diagram, where it is present. See, this blue color is coronary vein and this red color is coronary arteries. This is right coronary vein. This is right coronary vein which brings blood and pour it into the right atrium, and this is left coronary artery. Now next we will see valves regulate the flow of blood in a single direction. So how many valves are present in the body, in the heart? So there are 4 valves in the heart. Now what is valve? Valve is like a flap which opens and closes during the flow of the blood from atrium to ventricles. So what are they? First we'll see in the diagram. So there are 4 valves are there. First, right atrioventricular valve. Right, this is right side. First one, right atrioventricular valve. First one, where it will be present, कहाँ present होगा, right atrium और right ventricles के बीच में. So this is right atrioventricular valve. It will be present between the right auricle and the right ventricles. It has 3 thin triangular leaf-like flaps. कैसा flap होगा? 3 flaps होंगे and therefore called the tricuspid valve. तो इसे क्या बोलेंगे? Tricuspid valve. You can see this cord. This valve is held by this cords that is called chordae tendineae. It is arising from the muscular. See, it is held by the valves. So first one is right atrioventricular valve. Second one is left atrioventricular valve. दूसरा क्या है? This one. This is left atrioventricular valve. It is also located similar way on the left side of the heart. It has 2 cups and that's why it is called bicuspid valve. And this is tricuspid valve. And it is also called as mitral valve. Next is pulmonary semilunar valve. So this is pulmonary semilunar valve located on the opening of the right ventricle. See, this is pulmonary semilunar valve. कहाँ पे प्रेजेंट होगा? राइट वेंट्रिकल्स में. ये जो पल्मोनरी आर्टरीज है जो डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड को कैरी करती है, हियर देयर विल बी अ वाल्व. वाल्व क्या करती है? इट विल प्रोटेक्ट फ्रॉम द बैक फ्लो ऑफ द ब्लड. ब्लड की जो बैक फ्लो मूवमेंट ना हो, इसीलिए ये वाल्व्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं. व्हेन द ब्लड विल बी मूविंग so it will open and it closes so that the backflow movement na ho blood ki. That's why this valve is present, and this is pulmonary semilunar valve, and it is present in the right ventricle into the pulmonary artery, and they are pocket shaped and 3 in number. Now fourth one is aortic semilunar valve. This is aortic valve, इसे क्या बोलते हैं, aortic semilunar valve, located at the point of origin of aorta. ये aorta है, this is aorta. Where it is present in the left ventricles, and there are also 3 in number, and it is also pocket shaped. So these are the valves. How many valves are there? 4 valves are present. Now next, now we'll start with the circulation of blood in the heart. So how the blood will be circulated in the heart? It will start with the contraction of atria. See, this is atria, and this will be atria, and it will contract. When these two atria will contract, the ventricles at this time are relaxing. This ventricles will be relaxing because there will be or you can say it will be dilated because there is no blood in the, it is empty at this time. Therefore the blood from the atria passes into the ventricles easily. When, see what happens, the blood from this atria, from the right atrium, the blood will flow into the right ventricles, and here what is this, tricuspid valve. Through this it will enter into the ventricles. See, this process will take place simultaneously in both the ventricles, in this one also and in this also. दोनों में एक साथ काम वर्क होगा. दोनों एट्रियम में जब ब्लड एंटर करेंगे, in this the deoxygenated blood will enter, and in this left atrium oxygenated blood will enter at the same time. And इधर क्या होगा, deoxygenated blood enter करेंगे. And at this time ये जो ventricles हैं, दोनों ventricles, it will relax मतलब इसमें अभी it will be empty, because of that it is relaxed. When ventricles contract, जब ventricles contract करेंगे, when the ventricles will contract, what will happen, atria will relax. जब ये contract करेंगे, दोनों ventricles contract, दोनों contract करेंगे, then atrium will relax. The blood from the ventricles under pressure tends to return to the atria. लेकिन क्या होगा, when pressure से, when the blood will यहाँ से blood आया ventricles में, so there will be a pressure so that the blood will move. Here also the blood will move to the pulmonary artery and aorta. So what will happen, pressure से blood क्या है, flow atrium में ना हो जाए. That's why there is a flap which closes, which prevent the backflow of blood. ब्लड की बैकफ्लो होने से वो रोकता है. इसीलिए ये जो ट्राइकस्पिड वाल्व है, इट विल क्लोज इन बोथ द साइड्स. दोनों के जो वाल्व्स हैं वो क्लोज हो जाएंगे when the, and it will prevent the return of the blood. And this there in chordae tendineae, what it will do, it will hold the flaps. These here there will be a flaps जिसे हम valve कहते हैं. that flap वो क्या होगा, क्लोज हो जाएगा and it is attached with the chordate tendini. This chordate tendini hold the flap of the valve in position and prevent their overturning into the atria. And ये मैं एक डायग्राम से आपको दिखाती हूँ. Here you can see this fiber like structure. This is chordate tendini. What does it do? जब हार्ट क्या होती है, रिलैक्स होती है, तो ये क्या होती है, इधर ये ओपन होती है. व्हेन दिस देयर वेंट्रिकल्स जब रिलैक्स होगी तो ये जो फाइबर्स हैं वो खिंच जाएंगे और वाल्व ओपन हो जाएंगे सो दैट द ब्लड कैन फ्लो. एंड इट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स. जब वेंट्रिकल्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होंगे टू सो दैट ब्लड का फ्लो हो ऑर्टा में एंड पल्मोनरी आर्टरीज में, तो व्हेन इट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स तो ये क्या होगा, द फ्लैप विल क्लोज बिकॉज ऑफ द कॉर्डेट टेंडनी. जब ब्लड व्हेन दिस फ्लैप विल क्लोज, जब ये फ्लैप क्या हो जाएगा, क्लोज हो जाएगा दिस, तो कौन सा रास्ता बचेगा, सिर्फ एक यही रास्ता बचेगा फॉर द टू मूव ब्लड. ब्लड की मूवमेंट के लिए किधर, ऑर्टा की ओर और एक पल्मोनरी आर्टरी की तरफ ब्लड का फ्लो होगा. पल्मोनरी आर्टरी राइट वेंट्रिकल से एंड द ऑर्टा फ्रॉम द लेफ्ट ventricle. This is aorta and this is pulmonary artery. See when जब ये जो ventricles हैं dilate होते हैं, when they are relaxing, what happens, यहाँ पे blood क्या होगी, enter होगी and blood will fill into the ventricles. Ventricles में fill होगी and this flap, because of the dilation, this flap will close. और जब ये contract करेगी then this tricuspid and bicuspid valve will close and यहाँ की जो semilunar valves हैं वो open हो जाएंगी. When the blood will fill into the ventricles, these two pulmonary artery and aorta, what it will do, it will closes the passage. जब blood fill हो रहा होता है तो ये close हो जाते हैं. Now we will see heartbeat. So how heartbeat कैसे होता है. First step of the heartbeat, cardiac cycle. Each heartbeat consists of two main steps. The first is the atria contract first, followed by the contraction of ventricles. The contraction phase is called systole, is followed by a relaxing expansion phase, diastole. First is called the contraction phase. Contraction phase को क्या बोलेंगे, systole. Expansion phase is called diastole. Systole of atria, it will take 0.15 second. Systole of ventricles will take 0.30 second. All chambers in relaxed state 0.40 second. At the end of ventricular systole, the ventricular starts relaxing. Ventricular diastole. Meanwhile, the atria have also been relaxing. So the rhythmic contraction and expansion of heart is called heartbeat. अभी मैंने क्या बताया, कॉन्ट्रैक्शन बताया, एक्सपेंशन बताया. तो रिथमिक क्या हो रहा है, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो रहा है एंड एक्सपैंड हो रहा है. जो लगातार कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एंड एक्सपेंशन हो रहा है हार्ट, उसे क्या बोलते हैं, हार्ट बीट बोलते हैं. कॉन्ट्रैक्शन को क्या बोलेंगे, व्हेन द कॉन्ट्रैक्शन फेज इज कॉल्ड सिस्टोल एंड एक्सपेंशन फेज इज कॉल्ड डायस्टोल. जब हार्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर रहा है तो उसे बोलेंगे सिस्टोल. सिकुड़ रहा है उसे बोलेंगे सिस्टोल. जब वो एक्सपैंड कर रहा है, फैल रहा है, उसे बोलेंगे डायस्टोल. ये सेपरेट होता है ऑरिकल्स में और वेंट्रिकल्स में। जब एट्रिया कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होते हैं तो वेंट्रिकुलर रिलैक्स होते हैं। जब वेंट्रिकल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होते हैं तो ऑरिकल रिलैक्स होते हैं। द when the auricles are contracting the ventricles are contracting, then auricles will be relaxing. It will takes a vice versa. In the left or right, it is not it will takes place in both. कि ऊपर जब ऑरिकल्स हैं, दोनों ऑरिकल्स एक साथ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होते हैं और दोनों वेंट्रिकल्स एक साथ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होते हैं। दोनों ऑरिकल रिलैक्स होंगे एक साथ, दोनों वेंट्रिकल एक साथ रिलैक्स होंगे। लेकिन वेंट्रिकुलर जो है, जब वेंट्रिकल का मूवमेंट होता है वो ज़्यादा प्रोमिनेंट होता है। वाई इट इज़ मोर प्रोमिनेंट? बिकॉज इट हैज़ टू पुश। क्या करना होता है? काम ज़्यादा करना पड़ता है ना, उन्हें क्या करना पड़ेगा? इट हैज़ टू गिव फोर्स। वो फोर्स अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा ब्लड को देने के लिए। ब्लड हैज़ टू मूव फॉर द इट हैज़ टू मूव फॉर लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस। पूरे बॉडी को ब्लड सप्लाई करना पड़ता है। लेकिन what auricles has to do, only auricles has to do, the blood will flow from auricles to ventricles. So उसमें ज़्यादा it don't have to work much. See, the heartbeat it will takes place in different animals. In animals, obviously in animals the heart is present, so the heartbeat will be takes place. But the smaller animals will have more heartbeat than the higher one. ऐसा है कि if you compare a rat and an elephant, you will see that a rat will have more heartbeat than the elephant. Why it happens? Because it happens because it depends on the size of the animal. Because see, it has to एक डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल करना होता है। स्मॉल एनिमल्स में क्या है, शॉर्ट डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल करना होगा। बड़े एनिमल्स में इट हैज़ टू ट्रैवल मोर डिस्टेंस। तो क्या है कि छोटे एनिमल्स में हार्ट बीट ज़्यादा होगी देन कंपेयर टू द बिगर एनिमल्स। बॉडी बड़ी है तो सर्कुलेशन में इट विल टेक लेस टाइम देन द लार्जर एनिमल्स। छोटे एनिमल्स में it will take less time, and in bigger animals it will takes more time. In human, average heartbeat is 72 times per minute. Now let's explain how the blood will flow through the heart. First, we have seen superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. It will supply the blood. Where it will supply? It will supply the blood to the atria, right atrium. Now from the right atrium, the blood will flow from there is a tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve is present, and the blood will flow to the right ventricle, and from here it will move through the pulmonary artery, and this pulmonary artery, through this it will move to the lungs. ये कहाँ जाएगा? lungs की ओर जाएगा। and from the lungs, pulmonary veins के through, see we know that कि arteries क्या करते हैं, वो oxygenated blood को flow करते हैं, but in this pulmonary artery will carry the deoxygenated blood, and this pulmonary veins will carry the oxygenated blood, and this pulmonary veins will carry the oxygenated blood. यहाँ मैं लिख देती हूँ oxygenated. And from the pulmonary veins it will move to the left auricle, and from left auricle it will move to the left ventricle, and here it will be mitral valve, or you can say bicuspid valve. And from the left ventricle the blood will flow from the aortic valve. ये aortic valve से होते हुए aorta की ओर जाएगा, and from this aorta the blood will be transported to all parts of the body. So what happens when the ventricular systole जब होता है, ventricular systole का मतलब क्या हुआ, when it is in contract हुआ and the blood will flow from pulmonary artery and the aorta. जब blood का flow हो जाता है, contract होता है, after that what will happen, it will start relax. इसके बाद after the contraction there will be a relaxing position ventricles का. Meanwhile there will be a also relaxing of the atria का भी होता है relax. दोनों क्या करेंगे, दोनों the ventricles and the auricles will relax. कुछ पीरियड शॉर्ट पीरियड के लिए रिलैक्स करते हैं दोनों एट्रिया एंड द वेंट्रिकल्स. रिलैक्स स्टेट में होते हैं तो उन्हें क्या बोलते हैं, जॉइंट डायस्टोल. जॉइंट डायस्टोल इसमें क्या होता है, बोथ वेंट्रिकल्स एंड auricles are in, both atria and ventricles are in a relaxed state for short period of time. For short period, and the whole sequence of event in the heartbeat is called cardiac cycle. Now we'll see what is the heart sound, that is lub and dub. When you place a stethoscope, what you will see in the chest, you will hear a sound lub dub. The first sound is lub and it is produced when the atrioventricular, tricuspid and bicuspid. ये जो valve की जो sound होती है, that is tricuspid and bicuspid. Lub sound is produced when the atrioventricular, that is tricuspid and bicuspid valves. ये valves की sound है, जब वो open होती है and close होती है उसका sound होता है लब. पहला जो sound produce होता है, it is produced by the atrioventricular, that is tricuspid and bicuspid valves. Get closed sharply at the start of the ventricular systole. ये sound कैसे produce होगी, when it is closing. वो जब close होती है, जब ventricular systole होता है, when the ventricular systole, ventricular will contract. ventricles क्या करेंगे, जब contract करेंगे तो valves जो shut होंगी उसकी आवाज़ होती है lub. The lub sound will be produced. The second sound produced dub, beginning of the ventricular diastole, means क्या होगा, the semilunar, when at the beginning diastole, the semilunar get closed. I've explained about the 4 different types of valves. तो जो लब साउंड होगी वो ट्राइकस्पिड बाइकस्पिड जब वो बंद होता है तब साउंड प्रोड्यूस होगा. एंड द सेकेंड साउंड दैट इज डब विल बी प्रोड्यूस्ड व्हेन द सेमीलूना वाल्व्स विल बी क्लोज. जब वेंट्रिकल्स क्या करेंगे, डायस्टोल होंगे. व्हेन इट विल बी वो क्लोज हो जाएगा सेमी लूना वाल्व, then this sound will be produced. Diastole का मतलब क्या होता है, रिलैक्स. Systole means contraction. So that's all for today. In the next video I will explain about the pacemaker and the blood vessels and characteristics of an artery, veins and capillaries. Thank you.